Hey guys, welcome back to another mukbang video by yours truly. Again, my name is Dung. It's like Dung Beetle, but not the beetle. And today I'm joined by a special guest, Hazy Thomas, aka Hazy Thomas. I'm gonna link her channel right down below and probably one of the corners here. So yeah, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes. Hi everybody, I'm Haley. Me and Dung met in college, and we're both now in LA, pursuing acting. And I have a YouTube channel as well, as he, said he's gonna link. But we both just thought it'd be really fun to do a little collaboration. And I love food. Dung is doing a mukbang.
I love food.
So I'm very excited about this. Yeah, what are we talking about today, Dung?
Well, before we get into today's topic, let's get into today's food. Okay, so today as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it is Taco Bell today. So we got a variety of stuff. We kind of chose things from, what we kind of know of, and also items that we found that were like the most popular menu items on Taco Bell's menu. It's really hard to identify which is which, but yeah, here is this cinnamon twist. Here we have cinnamon buns. I'll pull one out for you guys. Here we go. We got some.
These are the potatoes,
the
right?
Potatoes. Yeah. The fiesta potatoes. A taco
of some sort. These are for the nachos. Yeah. The cheese.
This is. Oh, I think this is like the supreme of sorts.
Or is that the quesadilla? Or is this the?
I think these are the quesadillas.
These are the quesadillas.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have cheese and hot sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, and the drinks. Okay. So this is a tropical freeze. This is a tropical freeze. Yeah.
Yes, and this one is the Mountain Dew glass. Let's go ahead and taste it. Let's go ahead and just try it. I'm into it. Is yours good?
Yeah. Okay, so let's dig in.
Yes, what are we gonna start with?
I have no idea.
Maybe the quesadilla. Should we start with the quesadilla?
Yeah, we can do this. Yeah, let's do basic and safe. Let's do safe.
I love that sauce that they put inside of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just cheese. It's like...
What's the sauce? I don't really taste it.
You don't taste it?
No.
That little, like...
It's like a white sauce?
Thick.
I don't have that.
Here, taste mine.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You taste it?
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. So today we're going to talk about... Or Haley's going to do most of the talking, but...
Don't make me do all the talking.
Oh my gosh. But today I wanted to talk about your experience moving here. So can you tell us a little bit about your transition from going to school in Missouri, and then moving out here to LA?
So I will kind of preface this by saying I've been to 3 colleges. So kind of change has been normal to me. I'm from Texas, then I went to school in New Mexico, and then I went back home to Texas, went to community college, then transferred to Missouri State. Then COVID happened. You know what I mean? So I'm used to a lot of changes being thrown my way because my first school also closed down. So that was a surprise. No, yeah, moving out here, I mean, it was scary. Like, I think I moved out here with friends, Me and you had both pretty much knew that we were going to move out here when we were in college. And whenever, we graduated, I came out here and I looked at apartments with my roommates. And we ended up finding a place out here. I knew it was going to be scary. It's just scary.
Well, you're moving out halfway across the country,
Yeah, well, and I just think there's like a certain level of like expectation of like what it's gonna be like, just because I've been acting since I was 5, and so I always knew that like LA was in my future. That was a place that I might live or whatever. But it was pleasantly surprising, But whenever I got here, it was a big adjustment, I think. But a lot of it, I think, was being out of college for the first time in 5 years, like not having that kind of structure. It was scary, and it's something that I feel like I'm kind of just now figuring out. But yeah, I don't know. I think overall my experience moving here has been really positive. I think there's things that I would like to still do. I think I would love to meet a lot more people. I think there's places I would want to go and things like that. But I think overall I handled it pretty well, and I think it's just all about embracing change and embracing the new and knowing that there's always opportunity in tomorrow. Yeah, I think... If that answers your question.
Yes, no, it definitely does. I think that as big of a change it is, of course, we're going to have to, think about the realistic things, cost of living, finding a place in general in LA is super, super hard. Yeah. So there are so many obstacles coming at your way already. Yeah, let's talk about that actually. What were like some of like the obstacles or challenges you I guess, didn't expect to face when moving here. Yeah.
I mean, out of most people, you know, out of everyone you've ever met in your life, am I one of the biggest people ever?
Yeah.
And I feel like when I got here, that was something, I anticipated it like being hard, but I don't think I anticipated it being this hard to like meet new people. You just really have to put in that extra effort to find that. And also I had issues with my first job that I had when I was here and not getting enough hours and stuff. So I didn't really have the money to necessarily go out and stuff and meet people. And now I actually have a job that I really like, and I'm just starting to kind of make that money that I need. And so I feel like I'll be able to start doing that more. And also like I'm thinking about joining like a rock climbing gym. Because like I love rock climbing. I think it's so much fun. I want to learn more about it. But it's also a great way to meet people if you do like classes and stuff like that. And so I really think it's just about going that extra mile. But that was something that I didn't expect to be as hard as it is, because I'm such a people person. Because that's something that comes so natural to me.
I think that's a lot of people's unexpected. You know, is that meeting people after college is super, super hard.
It's super hard.
Because in college, it's pretty much they're already handed to you, you know? And so doing it by yourself as an adult outside of college, it's so freaking hard, because it's like you have to balance work, you have to balance your career, you have to balance this and this and that, you know? So it becomes so overwhelming that you kind of just want to crawl into your own like little shell and just you know, lay in bed, watch Netflix all the time, and then you know, and then you just don't meet people. And I face that too. Like that's the hardest thing I've also noticed that I've had a trouble with, and it's something I didn't expect either, because I'm the same way. Like I'm pretty much of a people person. I like talking to people and stuff like that, and usually it's not usually a problem, because once we start a conversation, it's pretty much like, oh, we're friends from there.
Friends, you know? We're both pretty much can get along with anybody.
Pretty much.
So it's pretty easy for us to just like make fast friends. But
there's also the struggle of COVID too, because here's the thing, is that like we can't just go out, you know, and meet people in like a bar or like a you know, a concert or something like that, right? Because when we moved out, it was pretty much like still in the
we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah, we're still in a pandemic. But like we were moving during COVID, you know, and I talk a little bit about it in my first video, and haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out. But moving during COVID is so much different from moving pre-COVID, because you know, people could go and, you know, put in the effort, go to a bar or go to this and that, you know, without having to worry about a freaking pandemic, you know?
Exactly.
So I think we have that extra added on obstacle to us, you know? So we're trying as hard as we can.
What even are these? What is this and what is this?
That's what I'm saying. I think this is the Chalupa Supreme.
Okay, and this is the
Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Let's do the Crunch Wrap. I kind of want to try the Crunch Wrap.
Okay, you got it.
I don't know if I'm gonna like this. We'll see.
It's the size of my face.
Okay, I guess we should just take a bite.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. It was a lot of tortilla. Like, I got what was in the middle. Like, I got it, but, like, not a ton of it. I think I need another bite before I actually say something.
Yeah. No. I'm not mad at this.
I'm not either. It's like, I feel like this would be a really good, like, weird thing to say, but I feel like this would be a really good, like, lunch. Because it's very light. Like, it doesn't feel very, like, heavy.
This honestly kind of tastes like a taco salad in a tortilla form. Yeah. So you moved out here, right? And I feel like when you're moving to a new place, we've always had certain expectations of what the city might look like, or whatever desired location you're moving to. We have certain expectations or just ideals that we've had in our mind.
And it's California, so it's so romanticized. LA is so romanticized in the media, and what's it like as a kid, and you know. Yeah.
So what were your expectations of the city, and were they met? And what were like some of the, you know, not expectations?
Right. I think whenever I moved here, the thing is, I'd never been to LA before I came to look for apartments. I had been to Carmel, California, and I'd been to like San Francisco. I had never been to LA, and you know, that was a little worrisome. I was like, what if I don't like it? Like, it's scary.
I had that exact same thought.
Yeah, but I was like, I think I will. Everybody that'd been here was like, it seems your vibe, it seems your place. Like, yeah, I think you'll be fine there. Something that was really good is I think I kind of came into it, like I was so excited, right? Like I was excited to move here, but and I think just being out here, there was a magic, you know? I won't say that there wasn't. Like, there definitely was. But So in that way, like, expectations were met. You know, like I felt like the magic in the places that I felt like I needed to feel it. However, I think what was good was, or actually, sorry, I lied. The first time I came here was after graduation. It was with my parents to just see the place, and we stayed in Santa Monica. And I think staying in Santa Monica kind of gave me like a nice little like tap in the water. You know, like it didn't like, you know what I mean? Well, literally because the ocean. but like also like figuratively of like, we're like in LA, but we're not in LA, right. You know? It kind of allowed me to feel a little bit, in a good way. I feel like it took the magic out a little bit and set the reality a little bit, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It was more like I could see this place being my home. I feel like it's good for me to have a balance of this is magical and a place your dreams are made, but also comfort and feeling like I live here. This is my home. What was the question?
I felt the same way because like I had like a romanticized idea of LA, you know, coming out here. And, you know, I'm not to say like there's like no aspect of that. There was some aspect.
Yeah, it was.
But
especially in certain parts. Like,
right, exactly. Like you said, like actually like my coworker, I think within like the first like few months, she took me to a spot up some type of mountain, and it was like the most beautiful sighting. It was looking out in the city. It was just all lights, street lights, all the building lights, and it's just
to the mountains and
and it was quiet, but you can see like it was so busy down in the city, and it was just like so beautiful, so serene. For a minute I was like, this is what I was talking about. Yeah,
I'm trying to think what was like really difficult about like the changes of moving here. Well, actually, do you want to jump into something else and then I can say this thing?
Yeah, what do you want to jump into? The potatoes?
Oh yeah, let's do the potatoes. Okay. Potatoes are next. What are they called?
They're called cheesy fiesta potatoes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, they didn't give us forks.
That's fine. I can eat with my hands.
I like that.
No, not bad.
I love anything with potato.
Right? I'm like, nothing magical. But honestly, the potatoes are a little dry. Yeah. For acting wise, I think, again, kind of going into that schooling mentality, you don't realize how much your behaviors and your habits are kind of built around the school system. Yeah. And it's great when you're in the school system, but it's like when you're out, it's hard because I think whenever I was in school, don't get me wrong, like you saw me, I went on every audition I could outside of Missouri State as well as Missouri State. And like, I think that was good. Like I was very proactive about things even when I had like the security of like a program. Now that I'm out of that, I think not having that security of like, you go to these classes every week and you do this and you do that. And this is how you're growing constantly as an actor. It can be hard when you're thrust out of that to kind of maintain momentum. Yeah. And like, especially in the course of a huge life change, like moving, like it's a lot being thrown at you. And I think
it's because it's like, we are so used to, it's like a habit, you know, we were in school for so long. We're so used to it because that's what we've, you know, been taught. And we just knew and we've gone through, and there was just nothing about it. But now that we don't have to anymore because we graduated, you know, it's kind of like, what do we do now? You know, because we were never taught about like, okay, this is what you do after college or whatever, you know? Of course, like, get a job and whatever. But, like, there's more than just getting a job. So what's after that, you know? So
and honestly, I feel like every person that's in college or in high school that is watching this, nobody can really tell you or prepare you. Like, they just can't. Like, for me, I found so much value in, you know, college, but I also don't think that, I mean, they couldn't tell me. They couldn't, I mean, there's no way to explain to somebody, like, no. I think maybe I would have liked somebody to just be like, hey, but I mean, they're kind of telling me something I should have already known, but just didn't really think about is like, your entire life is going to be completely different than it has ever been in your life. Yes. And I feel like you expect that when you go into college.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I feel like you expect it to be like,
and there is some element of that.
There is. Yeah. But like nothing compared to getting out of college. And like some of the pressure is gone because, you know, you don't have grades and things like that. Right. But I think as me and you, as people that want to achieve so many things and want to do so many things, it's hard to finally like be by yourself and like be with you because, you know. Because
you have to keep yourself accountable.
You have to keep yourself accountable.
That is the hardest part about, you know, for me, like coming out here, was keeping myself accountable because, you know, but at the same time, giving myself grace. So I had a really, really hard time finding the balance between those two. Because
I am too right now.
Yeah, no, literally.
It's going to be a constant battle forever.
Yeah, 100%. But like in the beginning of like the few months I've gotten here, I really struggled with that. I was so I kind of just really focused on the reality of getting enough money for rent and stuff like that, like the financial aspect. So I was focusing on the first 2 months, and I was just like tunnel vision, you know?
Right.
But then at night when I get home from work, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything for acting, you know? I could be, you know, taking class, but I don't have time for a class because I'm doing this, this, and that, you know?
Yeah.
I got into this cycle of this insecure thought, or just insecure voice in my head telling me like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? This is what you came out here for. It just kept having like a toxic cycle. I had to learn to give myself grace at that point, because it's okay to focus on one thing before hitting on to the next. I just went out here, okay? So I had to adjust, you know? And so
an adjustment period is necessary.
Yes.
And like my friend Alyssa, I remember her telling me this, and I was like, oh, that's so true. But she was like, don't feel like you need to do everything right when you get there. Like literally just acclimate. Like just acclimate, get, you know, used to the air, get used to everything. Also my agency was great about it. They were like, yeah, settle in. You know what I mean? Like it's a big change, you know? But I don't know. Now I feel like the biggest hurdle with everything is just balancing life outside of college, like balancing everything. Because I feel like when you're in college, I think there's, maybe this is it, I don't know if this is it or not, but like there's so many deadlines in college. There's more of like a layout on how to do things, to where, I don't know, like I was thinking everything in my life, social life, YouTube, acting, dating, exercise, activities, and like going out. It's so hard to balance all of that, especially in a day job.
That's what I'm saying.
All of that, like it's so hard to balance it, and I'm still in the midst of trying to figure that out. And I feel like
and I think like in this line of like career, like we have to constantly do that, you know, because like here's the thing, is that, you know, by next year, we could not have the jobs that we have, and we have completely different jobs with a completely different time schedule, and then we have to start that balancing act again, you know? So it's a constant thing that we need to be okay with. I'm literally talking to myself. You know, this is just something that, you know, we need to be okay with and accept into our lives, because I think that once we start doing that, that's when the process becomes not more of like a chore, but more of like, okay, this is what I need to do so then I can live a healthier, happier life.
Exactly.
You know?
I think I'm just trying to realize the reality of things with the expectation and ambition of things. Because you have to give yourself grace, and you have to be able to say, I am not Superwoman. I cannot do everything all the time with no rest. Because I could go for 2 months.
You burn out.
But go for 2 months. And I know the entire time I'll be happy, I'll be good, I'll be like, yes, because I love doing things and have living like a fast-paced life. But then I'll get to a point and I'll break. And I don't want to get to that point. It sucks. And I hate saying this to people that are like maybe going through the same thing, but there isn't like a one-size-fits-all solution. I found my solution tomorrow. That won't be my solution in a year. Right. It's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. And I think it's just being really intentional about what you need in every moment and like what you want as well. Because then it's going off of feeling, but it's also going off of mentality. Because you could feel like, I don't want to film a self-tape today. Because that's just the mood you're in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's been honestly the biggest thing outside of college that I've been deliberating with, is just balance. And I think that's something we're gonna have to deal with, like you said, for the rest of our lives. But it's good that we're really aware of it right now, because it allows us to get better at it, that we're aware of it. Do we want to move on to these?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Whoa.
Yes, this is the Chalupa Supreme. Okay, I was excited about this because like of the wrapping. Yeah, because this like, she's thick, but she also looks delicious.
I know. I'm worried I'm not gonna like it for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm like worried I'm not gonna like it.
What about it?
I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, I don't know if I'll like this.
Okay.
Let's try.
Let's dig into it.
That's good. That's good. I'm such a dummy. I'm over here like, I'm not gonna like it. It's really good. I'm getting full.
I am too.
So I'm like, I might only be able to have a few bites of this right now.
What are some just tricks and tips or just advice to people who are maybe graduating from a BFA program, wanting to move to LA, but is a little hesitant?
I would say don't move to LA because you feel like you need to move to LA. That's one of the first things I would say. There's so many places you can be an actor nowadays. So many things are digital. There are, of course, many perks to moving to LA, but it's not the end all be all. It's not like you have to be here to do those things. I moved here because I thought I would be happy here as well as being an actor. And I also knew people here. And like, there were a lot of factors that made me want to move here. It was so good. But find a market that works best for you. There's really a lot of good markets. There's Atlanta, there's here, there in LA. There's Austin, Texas, honestly, is getting a lot of stuff right now. Chicago. I mean, there's a lot of places you can be. So yeah, mainly just don't move here because you feel like you have to move here. Move here because you want to and that you like it here. Another thing I would say is if you're currently in a BFA program, like we had so many great opportunities inside of our program. However, I do think it was helpful. Whether I would have gotten the opportunities or not, I still was somebody that every audition that I saw, I went to. Like I went to everything that I saw. When you have a program that's like giving you things, right? Like classes or shows or things like that, that's so great and it's so valuable. However, I think for your own self and your own discipline, look for things outside of that because then you're not relying on someone else to give you opportunities. You're making them for yourself. And I think you have to push yourself. Like you have to make your own opportunities because I think, especially in this industry, there's going to be a lot of closed doors and you can try to open those doors 100%, but you can also make your own doors. And I think that's something recently I've really figured out. And I was like, everything that's gone right in my life ever, I've made my own doors for.
Yeah. I think that kind of just gets you into the habit of, because that's what you're going to be doing outside of school, you know?
Yeah.
Getting into the habit of doing that.
I think people just get comfortable is the thing. Like when you're in school, sometimes you get comfortable. And that's great to have that comfort, like comforting environment. Like I loved that in school. But also don't get complacent. You
brought up a really great point though of like the comfort aspect because I think people do become complacent. I think that people really depend on that safety blanket and then they continue to do more education, not because they want to further their education or just knowledge, but because that's they're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's all they know. I think that you have to,
and that's on you. Like no professor, no anybody, like they can do so much, they can do so much great. They could be the best professor in the world, but you have to be the one that pushes you to do more. Like you have to be the one to do that. But also know your limits.
Yes, know your limits. Oh God, I learned that the hard way.
Again,
balance. Oh goodness, I cannot believe we ate all of that.
Me neither. I mean, I still have like halves of things
literally,
over here.
I have like this and then I have the cheese potato. But like we ate a good amount.
We did eat a good amount.
Wow.
No.
This is our video.
This is the video.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching our mukbang video. Yes. If you like what you saw, please give this video a like, a comment, subscribe if you want more mukbang content. Yeah, do you have any final words?
No, thanks for having me. Yay. And this was really fun. I love talking about all of this and eating this delicious food. I feel so full and happy now. If you guys want to, go watch my video that I filmed with Dong and subscribe to my channel and look at my other videos. But yeah, this was really fun and I hope to come back soon.
Yes. Alright, I'll see you guys again in the next mukbang video. Alright, bye guys.
Bye.